All right, David, talk to me about what happened on Friday. Where do you go from here?
Sure. So the first place we're going to go is to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which is rapidly becoming a fairer place. Fortunately, there's a lot of new appointments on the Ninth Circuit. But what Judge Orrick did on behalf of his buddies at Planned Parenthood for the past 6 weeks of this trial was basically try and bamboozle the jury into believing that there's no way that the defendants, myself and my colleagues, could be innocent, and that all that stuff about selling body parts, using illegal abortion procedures, harvesting organs from infants delivered alive, all of that was something that Judge Orrick said to the jury: you should disregard your own feelings about it, disregard your instincts about it, and just focus on what Judge Orrick and Planned Parenthood are telling you. And so I think that's why we got this ultimately nearly $2.3 million verdict, rubber stamped for Planned Parenthood down to the very last penny, every single thing that they asked for. This biased judge in San Francisco made sure that they were able to get by rigging the system and by tightly controlling what the jury was allowed to see or not see, including the jury was supposed to be the finder of fact on whether or not some of these conversations were private or confidential. They weren't even allowed to listen to the conversations. So it's an amazing, staggering abuse of discretion on the part of Judge Orrick, and we're going to be going straight to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals to try to get all of that reversed.
Right, as you should. And I have a couple of questions based on what you said. First of all, in your videos, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here because I want to be very detailed. In your videos, you captured proof of two counts or two different illegal activities. Not only the sale, the profiting from the sale of aborted baby body parts, but also the alteration of the abortion procedure, which is illegal if the goal is to harvest the body parts, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And were those videos allowed to be viewed by the jury?
Only a very, very small portion of them, only about 4 minutes. The rest of them were completely blocked from the jury to see any more of it. There was even some testimony in the courtroom from top level Planned Parenthood witnesses and leadership admitting that they sell body parts on a quid pro quo basis, admitting that they find nothing wrong with using a criminal partial birth abortion method, flipping the baby to a feet first position to deliver alive and intact for organ harvesting. And then on top of that, the Planned Parenthood National knew that all of this was going on. But as soon as information like that would start to leave the lips of the witnesses on the witness stand, Judge Orrick would turn to the jury and say, remember, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this case is not about any of that. Don't you let it trouble your minds one bit. Just focus on what Planned Parenthood is going to tell you. And that is how they were able to try to continue to cover that up in the course of this 6-week trial. It's really egregious and really outrageous what they did.